Friends, I was talking to a very money person, a very rich person in my village. In that whole talk, what I realized was that the person, quite, quite a rich person, who would have perhaps hired 10 people like me for different jobs. What I found is that the person was never confident, whereas I did not feel a single moment low. He had a lot of money but lacked what I had, confidence. There at that moment, I realized the importance of the difference between what one need to achieve and evolve into something years after years and something that could be accumulated. One need to acquire one need to acquire knowledge by oneself, while money, wealth can be accumulated, can come to you by any means, by your rights. It can come to you by your heritage, by unexpected chances and opportunities. My imagination went back to something that I was teaching, something that I had read. Language one has to learn, evolve into, groom into, and that is what makes a lot of difference. While I was in Aurangabad, it was very difficult for me to speak in Urdu dominated Hindi. In one of my episodes on Ghalib, in Mirza Ghalib, a series on my YouTube channel, I still remember one comment in which someone had commented about my pronunciation of Hindi. I know that I cannot speak Hindi like that is spoken by Delhiwalas or one who has learned Urdu and Hindi. The English language that I am speaking is neither British nor it is American. It may not be even what can be called Indian, but as long as you understand it, it's okay with me. I felt why I should not talk to you about George Bernard Shaw's very illustrious play, Pygmalion. Pygmalion, Pygmalion was written by George Bernard Shaw in the year 1913. It means it came into being before 110 years. You can imagine before a century, Shaw pointed out and commented on the tendency of upper middle class defining the class of person depending on the kind of language he or she uses. What kind of a pronunciation is right? What kind of a pronunciation is wrong? And it is always decided by the standard language or phonetics of that language. Whereas a great researcher on Indian languages, Dr. Ganesh Devi, feels that every language or even a dialect is indigenous in itself. The whole concept of defining the standard of a person or a class of a people is a kind of a myth. Pygmalion underlines several such questions. Bernard Shaw wanted to point out this tendency and comment on the falseness of certain concepts. Human beings should be honored by their inner quality and not by their external manifestation. Anyways, it was just a thought. There were many adaptations of the play, and My Fair Lady is a very popular one. As Pygmalion deals with many themes like gentility and manners, identity and manners. It deals with language, social class, femininity, education and intelligence, marriage and prostitution, hopes and dreams, and transformation. However, the main theme of the play has always remained the social class. It is not necessary that a person belonging to the lower strata of society is not a virtuous person. In fact, persons of any class should be rewarded because of his or her virtues and not because of only his or her class. You would see, my friends, even today the standards have not changed. We see around us just saying excuse me, people breaking the queues. In one of the buffet lunch I attended, I found a lady who was well dressed, possibly, and not possibly, surely, belonging to the rich class of people, standing like a statue while her garma garam dish was being prepared. And I wanted to just have something nearby from her bowl that was kept on the serving table. She had no civic sense to move a little so that I can pick up my thing and disappear. दफा हो जाऊं उनकी आंखों से. She was there standing like a pole star, unmindful of the fact that I was waiting there. Not only that, but I found rich people throwing wrappers of eatables around anywhere, while I expected that they should throw it in the dustbins kept at hand's distance. Anyways, social behavior is a different topic altogether. Coming back to the play Pygmalion. This Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw named his play Pygmalion after a Greek myth by the same name. On 16th October 1913, it was presented in Vienna in German language, and later in the year 1914, it was shown in English language in His Majesty's Theatre. All his performances in German or in English languages were well accepted by the critics. What the critics noted was that Shaw departed from his usual didactic, dry language and uses rather a poetic language. Its Broadway presentation in New York was taken as a good love story with a humorous undercurrents in it. The unconventional ending of the play was much praised by noted magazine Time. If you want to go in deep, you will find basically two versions of the play. Shaw himself revised it and he himself presented it. Pygmalion has transcended the borders of different cultures, and now there is hardly any part of the world that has not either produced or seen the play. That is why you can say this play happens to be one of the most popular plays of Bernard Shaw. Forget my personal choice, A Doll's House, and Ibsen play. Let me tell you that the play has been adapted on stage as a Broadway musical. Its film adaptations are several. Well known is My Fair Lady, a 1964 film starring Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison. Many other times, many other films also have been inspired by the play. They are Educating Rita, 1983, Can't Buy Me Love, that came into 1987, Love does not cost a thing. It came into 2003, and the very recent one, he is all that 2021. Small screen of television has also not remained uninfluenced by the play. Right from BBC TV productions of 1948 to BBC broadcast of 2021, the play has been influencing. The play has gone beyond the linguistic borders and has been adapted in many, many ways. In Indian languages like Gujarati, Bengali, the play has been adapted. Basu Chatterjee's film in Hindi, Man Pasand, that came into 1980, could be called an adaptation of the play. In popular culture, a film like Pretty Woman can be traced back to the play. In simple language, where there is language, there is the influence of this play. In Marathi language, also, you all know Pula Deshpande immortalized the play by name Tiful Rani. If this play has been so much influence right from its first presentation across all cultures and languages, there must be something great. So, what is that so great? George Bernard Shaw says in this play. Well, Shaw teaches us about the management of human potentials. The play was not only popular in Victorian era, it made its way round the world till the recent period. The Greek myth of a sculptor who fell in love with his own creation is, is a basic source of the play. However, Shaw's genius specialized it for his purpose of English class distinction. Anyways, friends, there is one barrier in communication, and that barrier is called all no barrier. The communicator thinks that the audience knows something about which he or she is suggesting or telling. Perhaps I am making the same mistake, thinking that you all know something about the Greek mythology of Pygmalion. Maybe, or may not be. May not be, you don't know anything about it. So, let me tell you in brief about that mythology, Greek mythology, around which the play has derived its name and the plot. Friends, the Greek mythology is this. Actually, this myth was made famous by a Roman poet Ovid. The poet makes a reference to Greek myths in his book. Pygmalion, who is a sculptor, makes an ivory statue that represents an ideal expression of womanhood. Do you not remember the film Mughal Azam, directed by Asif and acted by the great actors like Prithviraj Kapoor, thespian Dilip Kumar, and Madhubala? In that film too, something like that happens. A sculptor almost falls in love of his own creation. So in that Greek mythology too, the sculptor falls in his own creation. He prays to the goddess Venus, who brings that statue to life, and the story goes on. Of course, their marriage, and so on and so forth. Shaw undoubtedly was a person who brought forth the idea of problem plays. He believed in theater. He believed in theater could bring about changes in society. He is considered as the father of modern drama. The very strong dose of didacticism that was initiated by French playwrights could be seen in In the play, not only that, Shaw brought elements of didactism, but made it perfect with his artistic merits. He he gave a kind of a relevance to the subject he wrote on. That is why in Victorian era his plays were called as Ibsenite plays. Shaw's plays brought a fresh life in the British theatre. With his wit and humor and radical themes, he pumped a bubbling energy in the theatre. Friends, if I share something spicy, how would you react? Well, it was rumored that the character of Eliza Doolittle was created by Shaw for a British actress, Patrick Campbell, who at the time was having an affair with the playwright. Spicy. It failed because of lack of romance, which is seen in the relationship of Professor Higgins and Eliza. The play based on that, The Liar, based on this relationship, was also played. It was enacted by the great actor Nasiruddin Shah and Ratna Pathak. Whatever it may be, the important thing is that the person's status is directed not by what you are, but what you are perceived. The virtues are not determined by the class you are in, they are determined by your inner nature. Mostly, people, even today, react on perception. That is why a perception is consciously built upon. One of my friends used to say, the book becomes important by knowing from where it is published. If it is from some well known publishing house, it, it is good. Else, you understand what I mean. Anyways, let us go ahead with other aspects of the play in the next episode that is going to be on the play itself, on the play Pygmalion. Please, please stay tuned, stay connected, subscribe to my channel, DMS underlines, like and share with your friends. Thank you for watching.